Thanks for checking out this edition of This Week in the World of Football, coming to you live from the fabulous World of Football Man Cave, located in the center of the football world, Kalamazoo, Michigan. The purpose of this podcast is to promote the game of football in all its many forms, past, present, and future. We hope to educate, inform, and entertain you with the glorious buffet that is the world of football, while also keeping a close eye on the rich history of the game. You can find the show after it's aired live on a multitude of podcasting platforms, as well as right here on YouTube along with past shows. If you want to connect with us, just find us on Facebook, X, Instagram, and Threads. Those links will be down in the episode description. Remember to comment, like, and share this video. If you have thoughts or comments during the show, drop them into the live chat and maybe you'll see your name on screen. If you have questions and they are deemed appropriate, they'll be answered at the end of the broadcast. So without further ado, let's kick off this week's show.
Hello again, everyone. This is episode number 408 for August 26, 2025. I am your host, Randy Snow. On this week's show, the Vegas Nighthawks are your 2025 Indoor Football League champions. The playoff semifinal matchups are set in the European League of Football. And is Notre Dame really changing their logo? We'll find out. But I'm not here all by myself. Across the internet from me on the other side of Kalamazoo, Michigan, is my son, Adam.
After much protest, after much begging and kicking and screaming, I lost. I couldn't get the Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce announcement to be our headliner for today's show, everybody. I tried. Swiftie Nation.
It's in there somewhere. We'll get to it sometime.
Will we get to it sometime? Because I am perplexed that this is not leading our show. Actually aghast even, because this, hold on, we got him right here. This lovely couple deserves a lot more recognition than you're willing to give them, Randy. So much, in fact, that I think we have to change the name of our podcast. I've got a few ideas, thanks to ChatGPT, to change the name of this show to incorporate Swifties. Because we need to incorporate the Swifties. We want to get the views, Randy. This is what we got to do going forward. All right. I'm going to run all these names by you, and I want you to tell me which one you love the most and that we're going to roll with starting next week. All right. Gridiron Swifties.
No.
First Down Fearless. Yeah.
No.
Pigskin Swift.
No.
Let's see. Shake It Offense.
No.
The Swift Formation. There's a bunch of these, Randy. These are great.
Oh, if there's more, please.
There's all right. I'll just fly through them. Pick your favorite one. I said that one. All Two Football. Friday Night Swift Ball. This Week in the World of Swift Ball. This Week in Swift and Football. The Swift World of Football. Our Football Era. Enchanted End Zones. Touchdowns and Taylor. Swift Kicks and Field Goals. And my favorite one, the Red Zone Era. There you go, everybody.
If you pick any of those, it will be the end of this era of our football podcast. Please. Oh my gosh.
Hey, we're trying to grow the show, Randy. If we incorporate the Swifties, I think we could have a really big audience. I mean, you might just have to wear your Swiftmas sweater again.
What, you haven't even said anything about my Buc-ee's. Where is it? Here somewhere. My Buc-ee's jersey. Huh?
It's pretty nice. I still have not been to Buc-ee's yet, so I don't get the hype yet. I know.
I'm wearing this because if people saw our other podcast, they've already heard the story. But your mom and I were down in Tennessee, and we were doing some zip lining down there. And in our travels, we traveled well over 1,000 miles on this trip. We passed by 4 Buc-ee's, and we actually stopped at 2 of them because I had to replenish my Buc-ee's barbecue sauce, which I was out of since the last time we were down there. But they got all kinds of football stuff. They got some dog toys. They got some Buc-ee's dog toys here, whatever. I've had those for a while. The shirt I've had for a while, but this is the first time I've ever worn it anywhere. But I love.
I thought you were going to show me some beaver nuggets because that's what you need more of.
No, didn't get any of those. Those are bad for you, so we didn't get any this time.
What? How can something so delicious be bad for you?
I know
That's ridiculous.
they are delicious gold little nuggets. That's absolutely right.
Uh,
Okay, are we done with all this stuff now? Can we get into the show?
Hey, the show's been on for 5.5 minutes. I don't know what you're talking about.
All right. Not only do we have this podcast, and we may not have it much longer, but we also make YouTube content. We currently have over 600 videos on our YouTube channel, including the newest ones being our CFL Weekly podcast, Week 12 edition. That was just posted yesterday. We recorded that last night. We've got some upcoming videos. We have our CFL Weekly for Week 13, which is going to be Labor Day, but I don't know if that's going to be a separate video or not. Next week is so jam-packed with stuff, we may have to do something different with that.
Yeah, so coming up, so the plan right now is there probably won't be a standalone stream for the CFL talk. We're probably just going to incorporate that. Like we normally talk CFL on here, we're just going to do a little expansive talk on the show next Tuesday. And we'll clip that out. We'll make that the separate CFL show on its own. And then, so also starting next week, we will have our weekly NFL picks videos, guys, live Wednesday nights. We're shooting for 7 o'clock. We're working with Aaron, the third member of that show. Aaron's coming back for another season of NFL picks. So he'll be on. We're going to do that hopefully 7 o'clock every Wednesday night to do the NFL picks. So come join us, make those picks with us. We'll probably have more stuff on the social medias about that. And then Kyle and I do have a Just Lying Around coming. We're just going to do it tomorrow because of all the roster cuts today. And I had a really crazy weekend, so we couldn't really get it to work out. So we're going to set up tomorrow and put a show up.
So you're telling me that in the next couple of weeks, we're going to have a CFL show live on Monday. We're going to have our regular This Week in the World of Football live on Tuesday. Then Wednesdays, we're going to do our live NFL picks. So 3 live shows every week.
Sounds fantastic. Randy, you don't have to sell the people on the 3 live stream. I think that sounds awesome.
Well, I just want to say that this is going to be our 6th year of doing NFL picks. Aaron hasn't been along for the whole thing. I think he's done maybe the last 2 or 3 years, maybe his 3rd year. But you and I have been doing this for 6 years. And I think you've only won it one time, but still.
Yeah, if at all.
You have won it one time. Yes, I will admit that. But
maybe we need to up the ante this year and have an actual trophy between the 3 of us. I'm just spitballing here.
No, just knowing that I beat you and your brother at picking NFL games is all the reward I need.
I'm sure it is.
All right. This week we have scores from 8 games in 3 different pro leagues and college. We also have 2 playoff games we're going to talk about and 1 championship game from across the U.S., Canada, and over in Europe. Yes, there were 16 NFL preseason games played, but we don't talk about them because they don't matter this time of year. The next round of games we will talk about because that's when they start to matter. All right, let's begin. Let's begin this weekly tour around the world of football, and we're going to start.
Talk more Taylor Swift?
No, we're not going to start off with Taylor Swift. We're going to start off with the championship game in the Indoor Football League.
Okay.
This game was played last Saturday night, I believe, in Tucson, Arizona. And it saw the number 4 ranked Vegas Nighthawks, not Las Vegas, Vegas Nighthawks upset the number 2 Green Bay Blizzard by the score of 64-61. Like I said, I was down in Tennessee last weekend. I didn't get to watch much football at all. I did see the final play of the game, which was kind of a controversial ending there, I guess. But it came down to the last play of the game. You watched the whole game. You stayed up till 2 o'clock in the morning to watch it, I guess. And,
oh my gosh, yeah.
And all I know is that it came down to one final play with like a second on the clock. And Vegas was able to stop Green Bay on that final play. They reviewed it. From the angle that I saw, which wasn't perfect, it did look like he did not get in. But some people were really upset. But that's how the game ended on that final play where they stopped him from getting in the end zone on the 1-yard line. What else can you say about this game?
So, first of all, the game being on CBS Sportsnet, great broadcast. So we'll get all the good stuff out of the way. Broadcast was pretty good, pretty solid. Other than the fact that it started at 10:30 or 10 o'clock on the East Coast. I was up till 2 a.m. watching this stinking game. Like I had to take a nap at halftime. I had to set an alarm. I was about to pass out. I ain't used to this. So, but it was a good game. It was very back and forth. I was wondering because like from the first touchdown, I think the Nighthawks got in the end zone first. They missed the extra point on that first touchdown, so it was 6-0. Then Green Bay scored, and it was pretty much Green Bay got a little bit of a lead, and then it was kind of back and forth through most of it. So not a whole lot of defense, which is why the score goes up, and you're just like, man, can anybody stop anybody? And then Green Bay's got this last drive, so Green Bay's down the 3 points. You're like, oh, here we go. They were milking it. I swear, that drive started with 4 minutes left, and it just got milked and got churned down. And you're like, oh boy, Green Bay has found a way to just get this down to the last couple seconds, score a touchdown, game over. These defenses can't stop the other. Because Max Mailer, who IFL MVP for the Green Bay Blizzard for the whole season, looked awesome. These guys were great. There was a lot of fantastic plays during this game. A guy hurdled another dude at one point. It was incredible. But that last drive comes down there, and you're just like, there's no way the Nighthawks are going to be able to stop the Blizzard. They kind of dink and dunk. They get closer. Then they call them down at like the 2-inch line. And you're like, okay, here we go. There was like 2 or 4 seconds left. I can't remember the top of my head. 2 or 4 seconds left. Green Bay with the ball. All they got to do is like tush push or sneak it in. And you're like, this is over. Dang it, Green Bay's going to win. I had the pre-made graphic all ready to go for the World of Football account. And then all hell breaks loose when Mailer gets stuffed by that Vegas Nighthawks defense. If there was a moment that defense needed to step up, it was then, and they did it, and they stopped him. When I watched it live, I was iffy. I wasn't sure if he got in or not. They took a long time to review it to get it right, and I think they came down with the right call. Sorry, Green Bay fans. Right call. Green Bay got stopped. Vegas gets the win and the championship, and kudos to them. It was a thrilling game. I think that, if whether you're in arena or indoor or whatever, this game delivered on a lot of fronts. Now, there's a lot of people out there criticizing the attendance and criticizing this. Like, guys, can we just stop with all that? The state of the indoor/arena game, we're not selling out arenas right now. Neutral site games, we have our feelings about neutral site games, but look, for what they did, the field looked awesome. I think for the most part, what CBS Sportsnet did was really good. There was just a couple times where I had to stop myself from tweeting out something where one of the announcers said something to the effect of, oh, if a ball hits that goalpost, it's a live ball. And then in my head, I'm like, well, if this is arena football and they had the nets, even better. But, it is what it is. It was still a great game. The IFL is such a fun sport still. And this is what you want out of your championship game. It came down to the end. They did a lot of stuff right. This is the gold standard when we talk about these indoor/arena leagues right now. And that's no shade of the AF1 because I love the AF1. Mm-hmm. But I think on the whole, the IFL did it right. I think this is a good presentation of their product.
Yeah. Well, the MVP of the game, the championship game, was Vegas quarterback Jaden Delora. I could not find any stats anywhere on the team site or the league website. I found an article about it, and all the article said was that Delora had 2 rushing touchdowns and a passing touchdown in the game. That's the only stats I could find. So I still think the league needs to do a better job of getting the actual stats for the games up in a timely manner.
Yeah, that's always been an issue with some of these leagues. I know like the AF1 had that issue, like just getting them right off the bat. And I'm sure, there's a human element to it. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to go up right away, but you would think it's Tuesday and you think you'd be able to find the stats by now. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. I looked the other day and I said, okay, I'm going to give them a day or so to get those up there. And I looked again today, about an hour ago, still weren't there. So yeah, that's best I could do. Some other news that was coming out of the IFL is that they announced last week that the IFL Hall of Fame game is going to be the kickoff game for next season. And it's going to be a rematch of this game here, Green Bay and Vegas. So that should be pretty interesting to put these two teams back on the field for a Hall of Fame game next year.
Hey, what a way to start your season off. Obviously, the turnover in indoor and arena is always crazy. You never know what guys you're going to get. How much of your roster is going to be intact when you bring them back. So we'll see. I think right now that's going to be a fun game to just start your season off with, if even a chunk of those rosters are kept intact. So I think that's awesome. I'm looking forward to the start of next year, and they got a lot between now and then that can happen. So
yeah. And there was one other story. There's supposed to be a reality show in the IFL called Fight for the 50. I don't have any details on that. You might know more about that than I do.
Yeah, so from what I understand, it's going to be a reality show. The commissioner just kind of came on and talked about it for a second. That it's going to cover players, coaches, whatever, behind, it's kind of going to be like a Hard Knocks-ish thing for the IFL. I would assume their network. They said they're talking to other places to maybe put this. I assume it's going to be on their network. It might go other places. Chat, correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, so it sounds interesting. We'll see how that develops.
Okay. All right. Well, that's it for IFL
No,
talk
it's
this
not.
week.
It's not it. Hold on. How are you skipping
That's all I
the
got.
new team? Nope, they're the new team we have not talked about.
The new team. You're right.
Yep.
I put that in the wrong place. That's why I didn't see it.
Hold on. I told this man for 3 days to put this in this section, and he didn't do it.
Yeah, I put it in the ELF section. That's why I didn't see it. I put it in the wrong section. Anyway, yes, the IFL announced a new team, the New Mexico Chupacabras. I like the name.
Even rolling your R's.
Well, you have to. I like the name a lot. I'm not crazy about the logo though. Anybody that watches shows about Bigfoot and the Loch Ness Monster and La Chupacabra knows that does not look like a La Chupacabra. So I'm sorry. It's but I do like the name. Yes, very much so.
All right, I love the name. I think it's a great color scheme. I know we were joking. We've had some back and forth with the with their Twitter page or their X page prior to them making this announcement. I mean, you had your idea for a team name. I had mine. Trey from Off the Wall had his. I still think Airstream is pretty good, but I like Chupacabra. It's unique. It's interesting. I like the style, the color scheme. They unveiled a couple of helmets too. I don't have that picture ready to go. A couple different helmet versions they're kind of leaning into right now. I'm sure a lot of that could change before the start of the season, but I love it. And even people in the chat. Let's see. I had one right here. There we go. Rookie X4. I love the New Mexico Chupacabras. I see the fans are divided, not fans of the name and colors, but the point is about having fun naming a team. Well, it's unique. It's unique. It's cool. It's different. How many teams are out there called the Chupacabras?
Yeah,
not a lot. So
no, the name is cool. I think that's a really good name. Just the logo. Ask me in a couple of months if I still like the logo. I don't know. I just my first reaction is I didn't like the logo.
Well, I don't know. I think it's cool. I think it's very fitting. And let's see. Still, while we keep on the IFL real quick from Dale, did Trey Off the Wall get it right? Did he pick Vegas to win? If he did, I won his crystal ball that he has for sports. Oh, he wants it. I can make a lot of money. Whatever Trey's secret is, you're gonna have to talk to him. That dude, it was really cool that he got that right. And we put up the short, obviously, if you guys have been on our YouTube channel or any of the socials, we put up the fun video of him making the prediction consistently. Trey knows ball, guys. Hashtag it. He'll be happy about that one. Let's see some other IFL comments real quick from John Jenkins. I'm so friggin' bummed the game wasn't on IFL Network. I don't have any cable or streaming services. You see?
Ooh.
I mean, it does stink. I have YouTube TV. That's how I watch the game. But yeah, you think they maybe would have tried to simulcast it for those who stuck it out with the IFL Network. I guess that's something we didn't really. Yeah. I mean, because I get it. Yeah, I think being on CBS Sportsnet was a great thing. Like, good for them. Get it. You get a lot more eyeballs that way. But why not reward those fans? Like, make that game for free on IFL Network too. I'm sure contractually there's something where they couldn't do that. So
you're probably right.
Yep. And then let's see. I want to know how much the IFL Network made this year. I'm sure they won't give us exact numbers. They'll just tell us all it was awesome, and they got a lot of stuff to clean up with that one, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, we'll see if they put it behind a paywall again next year, and that'll tell you whether it was a success or not.
Yeah. John, again, I enjoy the IFL Network, being initially opposed to it, but I bought it week 3 and was thoroughly impressed. Look, I'm glad. I don't know. I had that first month for free. They didn't deliver on some of the stuff they promised, like the commissioner show or whatever they were supposed to do. They did it for 1 week and that was it. And I don't know. It was just for that. I don't know. I just feel like it shouldn't have been behind a paywall to begin with. But we'll see what they do for next year. Maybe they clean that process up. Oh, but okay, Dad, we can drop the IFL talk. We can move on now.
Okay.
All right, what's next?
Finally, let's move on to the European League of Football. Their playoffs were going on this past weekend. In the wild card round, on Saturday, it was the Stuttgart Surge over the Madrid Bravos, 41-17. Then on Sunday, it was my Nordic Storm over the Rhine Fire, 28-23. Rhine being the defending ELF champions. And so that sets up the matchups for this week in the semifinal round. Both games are going to be on Saturday this week. It's going to be the Stuttgart Surge at the Munich Ravens, who was on a bye, and the Nordic Storm are going to be at the Vienna Vikings, who were on a bye this week. So the winners of those two games next week are going to move on to the ELF Championship game on Sunday, September 7th. I'm assuming that's going to be at the home of the team with the best record.
No, it's a neutral site. I just forget at the top
of
my head. I think they announced it was a neutral site. So, like I said, I just forget where at the top of my head right now. I could probably look it up, but you seem like you just want to blow through the ELF and move on.
Well, we'll get to that next week. Yeah, we've got less scores than ever, and I'm wanting to get through all this stuff as fast as possible this week for some reason.
I don't know why you're rushing.
Yeah. Well, there's not a whole lot to talk about. I didn't watch either of these games. Did you watch any ELF football?
I caught some of the stuff because like for us in the States, like while these games are happening over in Europe, it's like 8, 9, 10 in the morning here. So like I'm catching the highlights on X. So I think Saturday morning I was just like going through. I was catching the highlights of the Bravo Surge game, and I saw the Surge were just blowing them out. They had a couple big plays, and the Bravos are a fairly new team. I think last year was their first season. So for them to make it to the playoffs this year, because I can't remember if they made it last year in their first year or not, but it was a cool story. But, the Surge have been a solid team the last few years. And then the next day, the defending champs getting knocked out by your expansion team. So, yes, an expansion, a brand new team in the Nordic Storm just coming in and wrecking shop. Just to now next week play one of the best teams that have been all season long, which is the Vienna Vikings. So next weekend's games, I'm definitely gonna have to keep an eye out. Those two games should be absolutely awesome. I'm looking forward to those.
I'm thinking that whoever wins the game between the Nordic Storm and the Vienna Vikings is probably going to win it all in the championship.
Okay,
game.
All right, I like it. Bold prediction. I'm at this rate. I was probably gonna stick with the Vikings to probably win it all, but your Nordic Storm have been pretty good as well, so I wouldn't put it past them.
Yep. Okay, that's it for ELF talk. Let's move on to the CFL up in Canada. Did you want to run through these, or do you want me to just keep going?
Yeah, I got you. No, I got you. You've been carrying the load so far. All right. Cool. The week 12 started off on Thursday night. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers defeated the Montreal Alouettes 26-13. This is Montreal's fourth loss in a row, and this is also the last Thursday night game of the CFL season. Can you believe it? Darn NFL ruining our Thursday night football fun.
I've really had a good time this year getting into some Thursday night football from Canada. And I hate to see the Thursday night games going away, but, they're not going to compete with Thursday night football. And it's just the way it is. So most of their games are going to be on Saturdays and Sundays now. Maybe a few Friday nights thrown in. I don't know. But I'm a little bummed that this is the last Thursday night, which we've had Thursday night football since late May, early June in the CFL.
Right? Yeah, don't let anybody tell you otherwise, because Thursday night football has been happening all summer. But if you guys want more in depth, also by the way, us talking CFL, we do our live CFL show every Monday. You can go check that one out if you want more in depth conversation about these 4 games that happened this past weekend. But we're just going to keep kind of going through the rest of them here. Then on Friday night, saw the Edmonton Elks, who are on fire right now, defeat the Ottawa Redblacks 30-20. This is their third win in a row for the Elks, with Cody Fajardo as the starter. That I believe that makes him 3-1. We talked about that as the starter there in Edmonton. Very excited to see the Elks start to climb the standings. Well, I mean, you see the standings right there. The Elks now at 4-6. They're creeping up, just a game behind or half a game behind. I don't know how they do that math, behind British Columbia. So watch out, BC Lions.
Yeah.
But I'm loving seeing the Elks bounce back. It's been a while since they've been this competitive consistently.
Too bad
Go
it
for it.
couldn't have been with Trey Ford at quarterback, but
Yeah, you hate to
still,
see it. We
yeah.
like Trey Ford, but I
love
think
Trey Ford as a quarterback.
but Fajardo has been a big difference maker for that
Yes,
team.
he has.
Very evident.
Yep.
See the other games then. We had 2 games on Saturday. The first being our beloved Toronto Argonauts defeated the BC Lions 52-34. Quarterback Nick Arbuckle for the Argos threw for 430 passing yards as a career high, and he also had 3 touchdowns during that game. There was a bunch of great highlights from this game.
Yeah.
I was glad to see the Argos get back in the win column as well, and scoring 50 points is awesome too. So.
Yeah. I think it was there's just their 3rd win of the season, or was it the 4th win? I think it's 3rd
That's
win.
their 3rd win. Yep, their 3rd
Yeah.
win there. Yep.
Yeah.
So technically in the standings, they are not last place in the East now, technically.
Right.
According to the
now.
CFL standings.
Yep.
Then
right.
the final game of the weekend, also on Saturday, saw the Calgary Stampeders defeat the Saskatchewan Roughriders 32-15. Saskatchewan got shut out in the second half by the score of 18-0. And both of those losses that Saskatchewan has sustained during the year both came to these Calgary Stampeders. So that's the last team I think the Rough Riders want to see if they go to the playoffs. But I mean,
yeah,
a lot of good teams there in the West. If you look at the top of that division over there, so
yep.
But all right, and then on by this week, the Hamilton Tiger Cats. So let's quickly talk about those standings real quick. In the West, you have the 8-2 Saskatchewan Rough Riders, 7-3 Calgary Stampeders, 6-4 Winnipeg Blue Bombers, 5-6 BC Lions, and the 4-6 Edmonton Elks. While in the East, you have the 6-4 Hamilton Tiger Cats, the 5-6 Montreal Alouettes, the 3-8 Toronto Argonauts, and 3-8 Ottawa Red Blacks. So get Ottawa and Toronto, guys, got to get your butts together because British Columbia or Edmonton might take that 3rd playoff spot if everything shakes out.
Yeah. Yeah. Some news coming out of the CFL this past week. There's a new docu-series on the CFL, specifically on the Hamilton Tiger Cats, that came out, I think, on the 14th of August, the first episode, and it's called Made in the Hammer. Their stadium is kind of nicknamed the Hammer, or they call it the Hammer. We were there years ago, and I got one of those foam hammers that says Hammer Time. Yeah, they've been using that for a long time. But anyway, it's all about the team. And this first episode followed the team through the first 4 weeks of the season. At that time, they were 3-1 with 2-1 with a bye week. So they had a little bit of rough start. But I think there's supposed to be 5 episodes, because when I was Google searching, it came up with 5 different episodes. I just don't know when the next one's going to be, but it could be any time now, since this has already been out for more than a week. And the second episode should be coming out anytime, I would think. But I didn't know that the Tiger Cats actually had their own YouTube channel, and it's called, the handle is at Ticats TV channel on YouTube. So you go there and you can find that docuseries, or just Google, what's the name of it? Made in the Hammer in the YouTube search bar. You'll find it. That's how I found it. Let's see. Some other news coming out of the CFL. The Toronto Argonauts have added Shiloh Sanders to their negotiation list. He was just waived by the Buccaneers the other day. And the team has already had Shedeur Sanders on their negotiation list for a couple of months now. And so there's a possibility that they could be teammates in Toronto. And being on the negotiation list just means that in the CFL, if they want to come to Canada to play, Toronto has the exclusive rights to sign them first before anybody else can even talk to them. So that's kind of cool. Every team has a negotiation list. I think there's like 45 names that each team has on the list, and you can only be on one team's list. You can't be on multiple teams' lists. But so there was a picture that they posted, the Argonauts did, and it showed the 2 brothers together wearing Toronto Argonauts uniforms. Well, I found the actual picture, and it was a picture of them when they were at Colorado. So they just took that picture from Colorado and made it the blue Toronto jerseys, which I thought was kind of funny. But so they're both on the negotiation list there. And a player that we're familiar with, defensive lineman Ralph Holley, was cut by the Cleveland Browns. He went to school, played his college football here in Kalamazoo at Western Michigan University, and he won a Grey Cup last year with the Toronto Argonauts. So if he doesn't get picked up by another NFL team, maybe he'll go back to Toronto and try and improve their defense again this year. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? And before we move on, I know you're trying to wrap this section up. We have another comment here. This week, Labor Day Classic is going to be fun. This also will also be the Elks' biggest challenge against the Stampeders. 100% agree with that. Are the Elks contenders or pretenders? Right now, it's hard to say. We'll see. If they can beat Calgary, we'll have a discussion.
Yeah. I guess the game, one of the games this week, there's only 3 games this coming weekend. One of them is Toronto at Hamilton, and that game is sold out in Hamilton. You can't get a ticket to that.
Oh,
Because they're only like the 45-minute drive from each other. So those two teams hate each other, and this is a big deal. Whether it's a Labor Day Classic or just a regular season game, man, this is a big game up there. So yeah, that game's already sold out.
heck yeah. Very excited about that.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great weekend. They've got 1 game on Sunday and 2 games on Monday, being the Labor Day holiday. So and all those games are going to be on CBS Sportsnet. So if you're barbecuing in the backyard,
So the
put
CFL game on.
action on.
Yeah.
Absolutely, that's what we're gonna be doing.
Yeah, I'll probably be somewhere. I'll have it on my phone. So
Yeah, yep.
hot dog in one hand, CFL game in the other.
Does it get any better than that?
I don't think so. No.
Okay. All right. And then finally on the scoreboard, there were a handful of games in week 0, but the only one of any consequence was the one that was played over in Dublin, Ireland, and it was number 22 Iowa State upsetting number 17 Kansas State by the score of 24-1. That was the only game of the weekend that involved ranked teams, so I didn't even bother with the other scores. Being week 0, they just throw out a few games here and there. So
yeah, and there's so many scores we can't cover all of them in the scoreboard. So
right.
I think going forward, we'll just highlight a handful of games.
Right.
So we're not going to get too crazy, Randy. Don't get too crazy because I can only do so much with graphics.
Yeah. Well, what we've done in the past is we've done like scores from the top 10 schools in the FBS. And then we do FCS, we do Division 2, we do Division 3, and we usually like pick out 3 games and just throw out some scores. Try to highlight different teams every year. I don't know if we'll do the same thing this year. We'll have to see with this new format and doing this live. I don't know how we're going to handle it yet, but we'll have scores, at least one score from every level, so that everybody gets their time.
Heck yeah.
Okay, there were a few news items that came out of college football. Indiana universities.
Well, hold on. We're not even going to talk about that. Did you even watch this game? I did my homework.
I told you
I watched this game.
I was busy ziplining all weekend long and driving over 1,000 miles to get from Michigan down to Tennessee and then up to Kentucky to see some friends and then back here. So it was like 3 days on the road, 3 different hotels, and I was just wiped out.
Oh yeah, that's right. Real quick, let's have a little side tangent then, everybody. Yeah, here it is. Randy went ziplining. If you missed our CFL show, we brought this up yesterday too. Randy went ziplining. Here it is. There's a great picture of him about to zipline into the abyss.
Yeah. In that other picture, you can see that little dot there in the woods. That's your mom. She was always taking off before me, and so I was playing catch up. And you can't even see where the other ramp is that we're going to be landing at. I think one of them they said was like either a quarter or 3/4 of a mile long was the entire zip line. And boy, you were, I mean, it doesn't seem like that long, but man, we even went through a cloud at one point where the mist was hitting us in the face for a few seconds as you went through this misty air. It was very foggy that morning, so we were way up in the air. That was something I was on my bucket list, but it was on my wife's bucket list, and she wanted to do it. And I just said, if you're going to do it, I'll do it with you. And yeah, so it was 6 different zip lines. And once you did the first one, there was no way to get off the course and get down from any of these towers. You had to zip to the next one. And finally, at the last one, they actually had a thing that rappelled you down to the ground from the last one. So yeah, there was no way to get out of it. You had to do all 6.
And Dale in the chat says, wow, Randy, I'm impressed. There is no way I would ever go on a zip line. Way to go.
Hey, I said the same thing too, and I'll never do it again. So
never do it again, really?
No. Been there, done that, not going to do that again.
Are you going to jump out of a plane like Aaron and my sister?
You're your mom wants to go to a place where you do it indoors, like we were going to do in Arizona, the wind tunnel thing. She
Yeah.
wants to do that and decide if she wants to jump out of an actual plane after that. So,
Woof.
but I'm not jumping out of a plane. I'll do the wind tunnel maybe, but I'm not going to do the.
Man,
I'm not gonna
you
jump
guys
out.
hit the age of 700 and you guys want to all of a sudden be thrill seekers.
Hey, you got all this time in retirement. Why not have some fun?
Just start a podcast like the other middle-aged white guy that's retired. Oh, wait, you did that already.
Yeah. Yeah, you forced me into that too. Can we get to the news now?
Well, hold on. So I watched this game, by the way, real fast.
Okay.
It was raining like cats and dogs. It was insane. There was a couple plays. I started watching this game, and it was raining like crazy, and guys couldn't hold on to the ball. It was 7-7 in the first quarter, and then I had to tune out because the Lions preseason game started. And yes, while it's preseason, it's my Lions, and I have to watch them no matter what, even though the game doesn't matter, and I don't care if they win or lose. But I watched that. And when I jumped back to the game when I had time, it was still 7-7 in like the fourth quarter, in the third quarter. I was like, oh, great, I haven't missed a dang thing. But that stadium there in Ireland is super nice. Or yeah, in Dublin, like it looks awesome. If I am hoping that Western Michigan plays Michigan next year, like we've been talking about, we'd have to go. Hopefully it doesn't rain like that, but we'd have to go. It looked awesome. It's got to be a football bucket list item now. I'm so cool that this game exists. And I like that. I think Kansas State did like a cool, like Celtic kind of stripe down their helmet, which is pretty neat. So I would love to see Western and even Michigan do something unique with their uniforms for that type of game, if that all pans out.
Yeah. Well, the game between Western Michigan and Michigan is supposed to be in Germany, not Dublin, Ireland.
Oh, is that where the Western game is? Well, then never mind. I kept thinking it was this, but I was so excited for it to be Dublin. Never mind them.
No, it's supposed to be in Germany from what I remember anyway.
Oh, okay. But yeah, okay. Proceed with the news now.
Okay, let me get to the college news now. Sheesh. Let's see. Indiana University's playing field gets a new name. Their field is now known as Merchants Bank Field at Memorial Stadium. The bank agreed to pay $50 million over 20 years for the field's naming rights. Merchants Bank CEO Mike Petrie is a Indiana alum. The naming rights deal also includes financial education for Hoosier athletes from Merchants Bank on how to handle their NIL money. And that is the coolest thing I have heard in this whole NIL era, that one of these sponsors wants to help these kids, teach them how to handle money now that they're, a lot of these kids have never had this kind of money before, and now they've got all this money. And he said he doesn't want to have them blow their money. Let's show them how to be financially responsible. Excuse me. That's the coolest thing I've heard out of anybody right now.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. If Merchants Bank wants to sponsor this show, clearly you got some money to throw around. We could rename the World of Football Man Cave to the Merchants Bank Man Cave podcast studio. It doesn't even have to be $50 million. We'll take a cool single million. I mean, we're not going to get greedy.
Sure. Yeah. Well, yeah. If they don't come up with a bunch of money, they can't tell us how to handle our money because we don't have any money.
Bingo.
All right. The other story that came out of college football this week was that Notre Dame has unveiled a new Leprechaun logo. They did away with the fists. There's no more fists for the Leprechaun logo. This one is carrying a football. The original logo dates back to 1964, so they've been using it for a long time, and it's the first time this has changed. The original logo is not being replaced. Instead, the new logo is a secondary option for the football program to use. Other Notre Dame sports teams will debut their own sports-specific logos as they get closer to their seasons, so there'll be, Leprechaun playing baseball, Leprechaun playing basketball, hockey, whatever, volleyball, I don't know. The redesign has been in the works since 2024. So it's been about a year that they've been thinking about this. So yeah, they say they're not replacing the old one, but I'll believe that when I see it. We'll see if they actually do use the Fighting Irish with his fists in the air logo a whole lot anymore. I think they're going to move more towards these other ones per sport.
I don't know. I think that the other one is so iconic. You don't
That's
get rid
true.
of it.
That's true.
It'll be like they said. It'll be around. It's just maybe for other things. Like now you have this extra logo for just football to brand that. You know, you'll probably see it on more of like the athletic apparel or whatever. But I'm sure you'll still see the two fists up there. I'm not worried about it when they, you know. I'm sure every once in a while they'll have both logos at some point grace their field. It's just another option. It's smart marketing. I actually like the sports centric logo idea. Like when I first saw it, I wasn't all up in arms about it. I was like, oh, that's interesting. Why you would just have to do a football though, because I didn't know that it was one for each sport. But that made it even cooler when I figured that out. I'm with it, and they said they're not getting rid of the other one. Because if they get rid of that other one, Randy, they're gonna riot there in South Bend. You kidding me?
Yeah.
So that's not gonna happen. So I'm not.
Yeah. Look what they did. Look what they did with Cracker Barrel when they tried to change things. If people are up in
Oh
arms
no,
about
no,
that.
no! Hey, stop! We are not getting into the Cracker Barrel debate, Randy. This is nor the time nor the place. If you want to talk Taylor Swift, cool. We will not get into the Cracker Barrel debate. That is just a whole can of worms.
We ate at a Cracker Barrel after we ziplined. It was fantastic. I'm telling you, I love that place.
You told
this
me
one
that
this one had not been remodeled yet. We were going through Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, and there were like 3 different Cracker Barrels. You go down the same road, and eventually you find another Cracker Barrel. So yeah, love that place.
Yeah, another. So when we were kids, you remember this because you were driving. I was just a wee lad, but we went down to Florida, right? And we stopped. Went to Disney World. Every city we stayed the night in started with a G, and every place we ate was a Cracker Barrel.
Yeah,
that was a trip to remember. Cracker Barrel forever ingrained in our hearts. And what they did to that poor man on that logo is a travesty, and y'all should be ashamed of yourselves, Cracker Barrel. Anyway, move on. We said we weren't going to get into it.
Yeah, well, we say a lot of things and we never mean it. All right, that's it for this week's scoreboard and news associated with the scoreboard. So let's move on now with more happenings in the world of football, and we're going to talk about some NFL things right now. At 4 p.m. today, which is when we started this podcast, that was the deadline for all NFL teams to cut their rosters down to 53 players. There have been a lot of announcements over the last couple of days. I don't know who hadn't made their announcements yet, but I didn't know if you wanted to talk in depth about anything that's come out since 4 o'clock or what you want to do with that.
Well, I mean, there's been a lot of different news. I mean, I don't have a graphic ready for all these because we knew there was going to be so much happening. There was going to be no way to kind of fit all this stuff into one graphic. But I mean, there's been some trades. There's been a lot of interesting roster moves. So, obviously we can't go through all 32 teams. That we would just be here all night, and I could care less about 31 of them, to be honest with you. So,
well, the 2 big ones for our beloved Detroit Lions was that backup quarterback Hendon Hooker has been let go by the Lions.
Not surprised.
To me, that was a good move. It just never worked out for him in Detroit. He was picked in the 3rd round of the 2023 draft by Detroit. And I didn't watch the preseason game, but I watched it when I got home. But I was listening to the radio play-by-play of the game as we were driving through Indiana coming home. And I got to listen to the regular radio broadcasting crew, including Lomas Brown. And this was on Sirius XM. Lomas made many comments about Hendon Hooker that, when I watched the telecast, they were, Hendon he needs to work on this, blah, blah, blah. Lomas was getting into the weeds, and he was getting into, he's throwing off his back foot. That's not a good thing. Yeah, he didn't read that play right because this guy was wide open. And so he was somewhat critical of Hendon Hooker. And I thought maybe last year they shouldn't have brought him back, but they did. So I have much better faith in the guy that we've got as a backup quarterback now. And I think he was a failed experiment that the time had come to let him go.
That's with all these teams. All these teams got some guy who, you tried to give the extra time for. But I think, it said a lot when the Lions had to get Teddy Bridgewater to be the backup quarterback for the playoff run. Clearly, they didn't have Hendon wasn't ready, and the limited stuff. Well, I won't even say limited. He had a lot of stuff, a lot of footage this preseason. Hendon Hooker did, and it's just not there. It's not where it needed to be. Clearly for Dan Campbell, and like he even said in one of his press conferences, he probably just needs a change of scenery. Yeah. I mean, we talk about that all the time with guys. Sometimes that'll help. I don't think he's going to be a lost cause. He's just got to keep working at it. And you know, I'm not going to dog the guy. I wish him nothing but the best. And who knows? Maybe it's one of those things where he clears waivers and the Lions bring him back to the practice squad. And that's the other part of this. A lot of people freaking out about roster cuts. But hey, a lot of times, you know, this happens. Guys go through the waivers, they come back. So let's not worry about it. Same with Dan Skipper, a fan favorite offensive lineman for the Lions who got cut. So that's it. That's like it is with every team. The news stories I want to tackle real quick. Like I said, we don't have these on the rundown, but there's a few big signings. You know, Trey Hendrickson, the Bengals player, got his contract. It's a 1-year contract. I want to say, making him the highest paid, one of the highest paid edge rushers in the league. So if we got that squared away with Cincinnati, the Browns making their quarterback room even more interesting by trading Kenny Pickett to the Raiders.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Was a bit of a surprise. But you know, now I guess just 20 minutes ago, Kevin Stefanski, the coach of the Browns, announced that Dylan Gabriel is their number 2 quarterback and Shedeur Sanders can dress as the emergency third. So let the internet go ablaze with that information. Thank you to my buddy Kyle for sending me that nugget. You know, there were some other signings, some other trades of some guys here and there. So, you know, we're getting into it, and the season's right around the corner as these rosters get shored up. And I'm sure all the news is trickling out from all these teams. I don't know if they all did it right at 4:00 and made their announcements. I see the Lions made a few, but Kyle and I will get on the Lions specific stuff tomorrow.
Yeah. And the only other story I had for NFL was that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce announced their engagement.
Say what?
And you've already thrown up the graphic, so
I did, yeah. And I think I deleted it from the timeline just to clear some space. So
yeah. When your mom was the one that told me that, because I hadn't seen it yet, and she said, "Hey, I see that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are engaged," and I thought, the rumor is that she's going to play at the Super Bowl halftime show this year.
It's not going to happen.
I wonder if they're actually going to get married on the 50-yard line during the halftime show of the Super Bowl next year. That would break every record for a viewership for a Super Bowl. I'm telling you.
Are you trying to destroy the internet? Is that what you're trying to do? I know the internet's not a great place sometimes, but I mean, we're doing our thing here on the internet, Randy. This would just all be gone if that happens.
I could use a break, you know?
Oh.
Okay, let's move on here. I guess we're up to the birthdays and anniversaries for today.
Okay.
Let's talk about that. For today's birthday, August 26th, defensive back Donnie Shell turns 73 years old today. He played his college football at South Carolina State. He signed as a free agent with the Pittsburgh Steelers and played his entire 14-year career with the Steelers from 1974 to 1987, winning 4 Super Bowls. Not bad for a free agent signing there. He was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2020. So happy birthday to Donnie Shell today. And we do have one obituary to talk about. I hope I get this guy's last name right. Tom Shuett. I'm going to say Shuett. A guard in the Canadian Football League for 11 seasons, has passed away at the age of 79. Shuett played college football at Indiana, which we were just talking about, and he signed as a free agent, of course, with the CFL's Ottawa Rough Riders. That's Rough Riders, 2 different words, not one word like Saskatchewan, where he played his entire CFL career from 1967 to 1977. He won 4 Grey Cup championships with Ottawa in 1968, 69, 73, and 1976. All right, so I guess the last thing for today's show is our upcoming events calendar. This Friday, August 29th, the X League kicks off in Japan, and our man in Japan, Greg St. James, says that he's going to start sending us some video scores for the games each week. He did it last year. We had a lot of fun doing that. He'd send us an audio of running down the scores and some of the things going on over there. And I guess this year, since we're doing this live and doing video, he's going to send us some video from over there in Japan. So looking forward to that. Let's see. Thursday, September 4th, the NFL season kicks off with a game between the Cowboys at the Eagles. That should be a good kickoff for the year. I always love to start the year by seeing the Cowboys lose a game. Let's see. Saturday, September 6th, the CFL Banjo Bowl is going to take place. This is a charity game every year between the Saskatchewan Roughriders and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. I guess this year it's going to be in Winnipeg. It's a lot of fun. If you've never heard the story of how this game got its name, the punter for one of the teams, I don't remember exactly how it goes, but the punter.
You do a history lesson. Send them to a history.
I know.
Lesson.
I did a history lesson on this, but I don't remember the details. Bottom line is,
here it goes.
The bottom line is the punter for one team made a comment about the fans of the other team, saying that they were a bunch of banjo picking inbreds as a joke. And of course it was a joke because his mother was from that other city, whether it was Saskatchewan or Winnipeg. But anyway, reporters didn't know if he was really joking or not. And so a few days later, they asked him again about it. And he said, yeah, I want to apologize for that because a lot of people in that other town don't even know how to play a banjo. So that's how this whole thing started. People come to the game. They wear bib overalls. They dress up like hillbillies. There's a banjo trophy. It's got like two crossed banjos and a big bowl on top. And it's all for charity. The losing team makes a donation to the winning team's United Way, I believe. So people are just having fun. Nobody's getting up in arms about it, but it's an annual thing. And the Banjo Bowl is going to take place on, Saturday, September 6th. So looking forward to that. In fact, I think it's a rematch because I think they're playing this week. So they're going to be playing 2 weeks in a row. Yep. And let's see, Sunday, September 7th, the European League Championship game will take place. And then finally, Friday, September 17th, the Senior movie is going to be in theaters starring Michael Chiklis.
September 19th.
September 19th.
It's on the graphic.
Yes.
Can't you see it?
It's a movie based on something that really happened a few years ago where a guy who was 59 years old still had a year of eligibility left to play college football, and he went to a small Division III school or something and actually played on the team for a season at the age of 59. So looking forward to going to see that. Okay.
Oh, you don't want to see the other movie? I spent all that time on that graphic, Randy. There's 2 football movies on the same day. It's
I can't see the graphic from here. I told you before I don't want to see that crap. I'm not into horror movies, even though it takes place at a football training camp or something.
No. I'll be there to see that.
Yeah,
I'll have to try to do a double feature that weekend just so we can talk about them on the show. And maybe I get ready. Maybe I could somehow con him into going to the other movie. We'll see.
Nope. I saw the trailer. Not interested.
Hold on. Can I make a deal with you? If we go see the Senior together and then we go see him, I will buy your ticket for him with the caveat that you can get up and leave at any point, but you have to at least start the movie. You can't just get up as soon as the credits roll and be like, I'm out. You have to at least get to the point where you've literally had enough.
Nope.
I think that would be great.
Nope, can't do it. Not into horror movies.
Oh, be a good sport, Randy. Come on now.
All right, that's it for this week's show. Adam, anything that's popped up on your phone or on your computer before we say goodbye?
So I saved a couple of things from the live chat so far, guys. We are going to wrap up the show here, but we have a few extra minutes. We're still under an hour, and my fiance is not home yet, and I don't have to cook dinner, so I got a little extra time on my hands. So if people got questions, you want to throw them in to do that. So the first one I'm going to highlight here was early in the show. Dale in the chat said, I can't wait for the picks video. You're just going to have to tell me how the foreman is going to work, or the format, I assume. Are we going to just take turns and give all of our picks, or are we going to talk about each game individually? So we might roll with what we did last year, which was we'll have all the games on screen. The panel, me and myself, Dad, Aaron, and myself, we'll go through and we'll just give our complete list of picks. And then we'll let people, if they want to drop their picks that night in the live chat, we'll let you guys drop them in the chat. We'll bring them up on screen and we'll give you guys your moment. If you want to go into a specific game and why you think certain things, we'd probably be more than happy to read that on air. The other comment I highlighted, Rookie said that this is rumored. It might be true, but the LFA from Mexico might push their season or kickoff back to February so that they won't compete with the FIFA World Cup. I haven't seen that anywhere. That makes sense to me, though.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it does make sense. Since they've got some Canadian Football League games that are going to be switched from some venues because of FIFA going on up there. So I wouldn't doubt it.
Yep. And Dale says, hang in there, Randy. Don't let him do this to you. Horror movies are terrible. Good horror movies are good.
You're not telling me anything. I've seen my share of horror movies. I told you before. I've seen the original Night of the Living Dead. I've seen Cujo. I've seen a bunch of others. It was fine when I was younger, but I'm not into that anymore. Sorry.
I don't blame it. I like a good horror movie. I still need to see Weapons. I'm hoping maybe I can carve some time out this weekend to go see Weapons. I love genre like horror films. Like what was it? The vampire movie this year. Why am I blanking on Sinners? I loved Sinners. That might be my favorite movie that I've seen all year. It's a horror movie. It's awesome. I got some other horror movies I really like, but they got to be like really special. I'm not into the super gory schlocky stuff usually, so that's just me. But yeah.
No, my favorite horror movie was Monsters Go Home.
Oh God, was that a made for TV movie? Was
Yes,
that The
was.
Munsters?
The Munsters, yes.
Okay, right on. Didn't think I'd hear a The Munsters reference today, but there we go, everybody.
Yeah.
But
I do like the Wednesday TV series.
Have you been watching season 2?
Yes, I saw the first half of the season. I'm waiting for the second half to come around.
Okay, I still haven't watched it yet. That's on my list, so I'm gonna get on that one. But going back to Rookie's comment about the LFA, if that does get pushed back, man, that's gonna screw up our vacation. We usually try to carve out that time after the Super Bowl and before the spring and indoor season starts up. But that might ruin our plans. I mean, we still might have to take a few weeks off. I mean, we need it at some point.
Yeah.
So,
well,
we'll see how it all shakes out. It doesn't shock me. I mean, especially when we talked about the CFL having some shakeups because of the World Cup. So it doesn't shock me if that's true about the LFA. We'll have to wait and see.
Yep.
So,
okay. Well, that's all the time we've got for this week. Don't forget to check out the World of Football merchandise at tpublic.com for the latest in football-related T-shirts, hats, mugs, and more from our merch store. And remember,
hey, keep an eye out. There might be some more shirts coming, everybody. I got a few I'm working on. Not super elaborate, but I think they're fun. And just keep an eye out for those. I'll probably post that on socials.
Okay. And remember, folks, some people may love football more than we do, but nobody, and I mean nobody, loves more football than the two of us guys sitting here on opposite sides of Kalamazoo, Michigan, talking about football. Join us again next week when we'll try and do a better job. Yeah, right. Until then, I'm Randy Snow.
And I'm Adam Snow.
And we'll see you all next week.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks again for checking out this edition of This Week in the World of Football. New episodes of the show are posted every Tuesday and can be found wherever good podcasts are available. You can find the World of Football on Facebook, X, Instagram, and Threads by searching for TWOF Kalamazoo or using the links in the episode description below. Be sure to subscribe to the World of Football on YouTube for more great football-related content. Just search for the World of Football Kalamazoo or use the handle @TheWorldOfFootball to find us. Remember, every like, comment, and subscription really does help us out, and we appreciate you for that support. We hope to see you again next time.